there's an effort to take some components from the dashboard and make them reusable, so for other dApps to leverage. So a good example of this is the things like Ledger, like direct ledger support, Polkadot Vault support, and no price discussion.
No, I just sorry. You can just put in the message. You can write a question in the message board, but yeah, please no price discussion or like any offensive content or whatever. Just keep the message board for question for Ross or me. Thank you, guys.
Sure. I'll wrap up my little intro anyway. Yeah, so very agile project. We're treating it as a long-term endeavor. And yeah, expect continued updates, and more than happy to listen. I'm happy to receive feedback as well. We have canny.io, which is accessible on the dashboard itself in the feedback button on the side menu. Or feel free to post on the Polkadot forums and tag me on there if you have concerns or something to discuss. So I guess I'll give this to Filippo now to start his tutorial as he has planned.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ross. Yeah, I just here went to canny.io. You can share your feedback here with the team, and it's always much appreciated to make the product better. So the dashboard can be found on staking.polkadot.network, and now here I'm on Kusama, so you can be on Polkadot and West End. You can switch the network here in the bottom. You can see we are currently connected to Kusama, but you can connect to Polkadot, to West End, and you can have different types of connections. Here you can select different RPCs, which is the entry point to fetch data from the network. These are public RPCs. And if some RPC doesn't work or it's maybe slow, you can come here and select another one. Maybe you know the guys behind these RPCs and you want to support them and you want to use them. So here you can do it. But usually the default option should work. Yeah, Live Client is experimental, so I would not probably use it.
Just to give a little bit more context to the Live Client. It's under very active development. A new team in Parity recently took over the Light Client, Substrate Connect, and I'm talking about the Substrate Connect extension rather than the small dot under the hood thing. But the latest version, currently the staking dashboard is not connecting to the web extension of Substrate Connect. So this hopefully is a temporary issue. So very much just to reiterate that the Light Client is very much experimental technology still. And as you can see there are no connected network. If you switch to the Light Client, it still should say no extension, not connected to any network. So yeah, still very experimental. Yeah, so as it stands now, I do not believe it will connect. So what's happening now, the Light Client is syncing in the dashboard rather than relying on the extension that should be syncing in the background to speed up the user experience. It will still work in the dashboard eventually, but it takes quite a while to sync up. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Okay,
so here, how to use the dashboard. First, you need to connect to it. And I would say the dashboard has great connection option. And basically almost all the connections that you can have. You have a Ledger, you can be a Ledger user. This is native Ledger connection. You can just connect your Ledger device and you should recognize it and you can import the accounts. Then you have Polkadot Vault, which is this mobile wallet cold storage that you keep your wallet air-gapped in flight mode, and you can use your mobile as a wallet. Then you have web extension. You can use MetaMask, Polkadot Snap, Talisman, Encrypt Fearless, Polkagate, Subwallet, and also in the developer tool you have the Polkadot.js extension. Right now, I will try to use Talisman. So you click on Connect, and just to show you here, there is I need to select the wallet I want to connect. Now I have here 4 wallets. I just select KSM Stash. Try to connect, and extension connected. And in here, I have my KSM stash account. So basically, from now on, since I connected the extension, when I go under accounts, it will fetch any account that I have on this extension. So I click on KSM stash, and here we go. I'm now connected to the dashboard. When I'm connected to the dashboard, I have two options for staking. I can stake on a pool, or I can nominate. It actually depends on the staking experience you are looking for, but also on the amount that you want to stake. Currently on Polkadot, if you want to nominate here, you need around 560, 570 DOT to get rewards. So definitely it's quite of significant amount, and not everybody has it. So what you can have is the option of staking into a pool. And a pool is basically, like kind of a group of people that rely on one person that is managing the pool and is making sure that everything works right. It's basically kind of a hands-off experience when you just have to join a pool and enjoy the rewards. And on Polkadot, you can start getting rewards from 1 DOT. So it's definitely like a big change from being a nominator. I will start with pools. How do I stake in a pool? You click on pool, then you click on join, then you select one pool you want to join. Here you have like you can see some pool performance. So let's go and select I don't know, like some pool that has some performance here. I can see this. I click on join, and in here I have to specify how many KSM I would like to stake. Let's try with 0.1. And in here, it gives you the option of this permissionless claiming. So what does it mean? When you're staking into a pool, basically your funds are going into a pool account. And this pool account is a system account. It's an account that only the internal logic can access, not even the pool member, the pool admin. So your funds are safe into this system account. So what you need to do is you need to claim your rewards regularly, and you need to do it by issuing a transaction. So you can do it yourself, or you can enable this permissionless claim where other people can claim these rewards for you. And the only thing that they can do is claim these rewards and piling them up into your staking balance so that they contribute to staking, or they are claiming the rewards as a free balance, and you will get them as a free balance into your account. So here, if you enable permissionless claiming, you can allow compound, and compounding, it means that that the rewards will basically contribute to your staking pot, or allow withdraw, which is claiming. Someone else can claim the rewards for you, and you will have them as a free balance, or allow all, and they will be allowed. People can either compound or withdraw your balance. This is basically a full hands-off experience where whoever is a pool member doesn't have to worry about claiming the rewards. The only time they need to intervene is if they want to change the pool, if they want to unbond and go out, basically. That's the only time that they need to intervene. Otherwise, it's a really hands-off experience, which is not if you are nominating as a solo staker, which we will see later on. Then in this case, we allow all, and we submit. And in here, I have some information. I have to approve this request. I can see here the estimated fee and click on approve. And here we go. We are a member of this pool. We can see how much we bonded, how much we have in staking, and we can manage anytime our pool membership. In this case, because we are a pool member, we can see here transaction successful. Nice. You can update the claim permission anytime. So if we change mind, we can do it, and we can leave the pool. And in here, we can, with this true button, plus or minus, we can top up our balance. We can stake more with this pool, or reduce our bonded balance. And here we can see the pool status, nominating and earning rewards. So from now on, we are a member of this pool, and we will earn rewards by staking with this pool. And this is it. So this is how you can easily stake in a pool. And you can see here the flag active, which means that you are actively staking into pools. Then the other option is to nominate. And nominating here is not for everybody. It's a little bit more advanced step than being a pool member. Not only because it requires more stake, but also because you need to select specific nodes in the Polkadot network that you want to support with your stake. And in this case, we are not nominating. I already started here, it seems, the process, but let's go from the start. Payout destination. This is a guided process that helps you to nominate. So the first thing that we need to choose is what we want to do with the payouts. We can compound them, which means that the payout will be automatically contribute to staking, which on Polkadot is every day. Your rewards will be automatically, paid to your account. The difference between pools and nominating is that with nominating, the funds remain into your account, and this has also the consequence that the rewards will be paid to your account, and they will be paid to you based on what you select here. They can be like directly going into staking again, or paid to your account as a free balance, or maybe you can send them to another account that that you want. In this case, we compound the rewards. Then you click on continue, and to nominate, we need to select these nodes, and we can select up to 16 validators on Polkadot. Here we are on Kusama. We can choose the selection. Now back to methods. Optimal selection, active and low commission, for favorites, for manual. So here basically optimal selection, it says to us select top performing and regularly active validators. Active and low commission selects high performing validator with low commission, because validator have a commission that we take for running their nodes. And from favorites, because you can like validator, and if you like validator, it goes to the favorites list, we'll see in a bit. And the manual selection, you will pick up manually the validator that you want. In here, you just select optimal selection. It goes with this selection that has some validators that are active, some that are waiting. What does it mean? It means that active validators are currently producing block in this era, which means that are active today, but they're not be necessarily active tomorrow, because they need a specific stake backing them up in order to be active every day. I mean, in order to be active in a specific era. And I will not go too much in detail. Maybe we can address some questions later on. But basically, this is to ensure the security of the network. How much stake is on the validators? And waiting validators are validators that are not active in this era, but they likely be in the future. So this is the type of selection, this optimal selection that is doing. Some of them are active, some of them are not. So we click on continue. And we want to select the number of KSM to nominate. And in here, we have some information about how much we need to nominate. These are the limits on Kusama. So to nominate, we need 0.1 KSM. I believe on Polkadot is 250 DOT, if it didn't change. In order to be active, you need 0.239 KSM, and on Polkadot is 560, or yes, something around that scale. In here, we select 1 KSM, so we definitely have enough to be a nominator and be active and earn rewards. We select on continue. We have a summary, payout destination, what we just did, nominating 16 validators, bond amount. Here we have some fee, information about the fee, and we can click on start nominating. And we approve the request. And that should do it pretty much. Yes, so we can see now we are actively nominating. And of course, now we are not earning rewards. We will start earning rewards from the next era. And the nomination are here. Now they're all inactive based on our perspective. And we will see that when we will start earning rewards, one of those validator will be active with us. So actually, our stake will go and back that specific validator. And yeah, the same thing that I show for pools, it also applies for Nominate. You can bond more funds, you can reduce your stake, and this is for locks. Actually, very interesting. We have a fast and stake. This is not possible for pools. When you are joining a pool, you don't have this option of fast and stake. What is fast and stake? It's basically a system that goes and checks if you earn rewards in the past 28 eras. And if you didn't, you can immediately unstake your, your balance and go and join a pool. This has been a problem before, where people were nominating with not enough funds and they were not earning rewards, and they have to wait on Polkadot 28 days unbonding period. So actually, since we, it's the first time that we are staking, we can actually be eligible for fast and stake. You can register for fast and stake, and we approve. And I believe if I didn't stake, I don't remember if I stake in the past, but we can see here we are in the queue. Yeah,
sorry to interrupt, Filippo. I just wanted this is a non-determined period of time when this is processing. This queue is processed on something we call on idle. So if a block has remaining space to process stuff after its compulsory transactions for that block, it will go ahead and process fast unstake. So you might be waiting 1 block, you might be waiting 10 blocks, but the queue is generally pretty low. So you should just be waiting a few blocks for that to process.
That's okay. I mean, let's leave it as it is.
Sure.
Just to let people know that if they nominate and it's like a mistake or whatever, they can immediately fast unstake. But they cannot do this with pools. Even if you want to change the pool, you need to leave the pool, wait for 28 days, and then join another pool, if I'm not mistaken, right, Ross?
Yeah, that's the primary use case. It's just for new stakers who maybe choose inactive, or validators who are waiting and they're wondering what's happening here. I'm not receiving any rewards, or I'm not active. Then if they realize what's happening, they can quickly just unstake and go ahead and join a nomination pool.
But yeah, I mean, that's it about using the dashboard for. Okay, it did it. I think it unstaked, right?
It unstaked, yeah. It unstaked finally. That's good.
So this was it was the fast unstake, this one, right?
I believe it was, yes.
Yeah, because I'm still in the pool, but I'm not nominating anymore. So we basically fast unstaked our tokens. Okay, great. Validators here, basically you can like the validators, and you can add validators to your favorite list, and you should find them. Nominate, start nominating, and when you go here, you can from favorites, and here I have some of my favorites that I added. So you should be able to pick them up from here. I don't know if of course with pools you have more information. I mean, even here, wait a second. You have all pools here, so you can see which one they're active or locked or they're destroying. You can have favorites pool if you select here. And under validators, we have favorites. This is all the one you liked that they're stored here. Yeah, don't know, like maybe we can open like for some questions from the public. Let me see here if there are like, yeah, feel free like to ask questions about staking, about using the Polkadot staking dashboard. Don't be shy. This is like the opportunity to ask to the developers of this amazing tool. So feel free to ask anything. I can see here Juan, hi Ross, big fan here. Just a few quick questions. How's Polkadot Live going? Is there a put in front of button in the roadmap? Which hub do you miss the most from the ecosystem? And why is it the OpenGolf dashboard? I don't know if you want to take this.
Polkadot Live is going well. It's in active development. We got funding back in October or November when that was finally dispersed. So we swiftly got a developer who's very competent and senior, and it's going well. We're aiming for a public MVP by the end of Q2. Hopefully, we're a bit ambitious. Hopefully it'll come before then. But yeah, thanks. We're quite excited about that app. It's going to allow notifications on the desktop derived from either the node or a light client connection as things happen on chain, and then it will allow you to respond to those on the desktop. So, for example, claiming my staking rewards in the staking use case. And I'm sure we'll be experimenting with like governance notifications and even some core time notifications. So that'd be exciting. I'm not sure what you're referring to with the put in front of button on the roadmap. Which app do you miss the most from the ecosystem? Why is that asking about an OpenGov dashboard, or? Yeah, there was another team experimenting with a delegation dashboard. I think this has been somewhat abandoned, but we have alternatives like PokeAssembly and Subsquare. So I don't see this personally as a high priority. So I think the priority should, for a UX product that's missing in the ecosystem, would most likely be an agile core time marketplace. But of course, it's still very early days. The last one was a joke, no problem.
Yeah, I think this put in front of button on the roadmap, it's quite an advanced feature, right? I mean,
is this this is referring to the voter list, if I understand correctly?
Yeah, exactly. You know that there are like so the little bit of context here is that when you are nominating, only the top 22,500 nominators, they actually receive rewards. This is because there is this kind of list of bags, but actually within each of these bags, you know, like not all people are not all accounts are inserted by stake. They're inserted by time of entry. So it is a problem for the accounts at the end of the bags, right? You know, at the limit of this 22,500, because you might have enough stake to actually be in, but just because you entered late, you need to sort the bags at the end. It's kind of a quite advanced feature that people not need to know, but you actually have the possibility of move your account in front of the account that has less stake than you within the same bag. And it's an advanced feature on Polkadot.js, and I believe that it was not added to the Polkadot staking dashboard just because it's too advanced. It's probably not necessary for the average you know, user and staker to know this. But yeah, please, Ross.
Yeah, brilliant explanation about the bags list there. I think it was the feature that allowed us to scale from, was it 18,000 to 50,000 nominators like registered nominators. Yes, it's quite an advanced feature. It's not something that's easily explained to users who are onboarding from a simpler staking mechanism. I think Parity have run nodes run services in the past, like bots to rebag every so often. So it's been a low priority. But yes, I mean, if we want to move away from Polkadot.js into more friendly realms of UX, then yeah, we will eventually need to accommodate the bags list in the dashboard, maybe under an advanced section, or maybe it will just be a Polkadot Live notification to say, hey, you can, rebag, go ahead and do it from the dashboard, from the menu bar. In which case there'll be no new UI to learn. So that would be a nice experience.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like nominators that are at the end of the bags list, that it seems like they fight and they constantly like have to bond a little bit more every month, because this minimum active bond is increasing constantly. I mean, constantly. It has been increasing quite a bit in the last year, and definitely like the entry barrier is high, and that's why we have the tools. Yeah. But yeah, I asked the question before by Dane about inflation model directly influences staking dashboard, the staking rewards. Is the word emphasizing how it works more on the dashboard in addition to the average reward rate currently displayed? I mean, the dashboard itself, I switched to Polkadot, right? Because probably most of people are staking there. So it looks exactly the same as for Kusama. It's just switching the network. And here on the overview, you have some metrics that explain a little bit what's going on. You have like here the average reward rate, and this is don't take this number as very precise, but it's actually what you should get more or less if you stake annually. Yes, Ross?
Sure. Just a bit of detail about the average reward rate. So for a long time, we've been using another metric called the historical reward rate. And this is the rate that's advertised on the staking landing page on the Polkadot Network website. But in a recent update, we've replaced this with this new metric, the average reward rate. And it literally it takes the average validator reward for the last 30 eras, or 30 days, sorry, which is 30 eras on Polkadot. So, and then it expands that to an annual return. So the historical reward rate was very algorithmic, had many parameters, and it kind of tried to mimic the reward curve that Polkadot has implemented on the protocol side. Whereas this new approach is a lot simpler. It can be derived from data just from a node connection. And it's a little bit more accurate, I think. So surprisingly, it's 17.05% right now, which is even more than the historical reward rate was giving us before. So yeah, I think this is a more accurate short-term.
I would say it's pretty much accurate. I did some calculation myself with one account, and it looks like it. But my question is, this is not taking into consideration of compounding rewards, right? This is just without compounding.
Yeah, that's correct. This is without compounding. I think compounding was 17.8 or something. I'll have to check that actually. It sounds quite low, but yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah.
Yeah. Then
once you have that average validator reward, you could either extrapolate with this base rates we're using now, or you can just use the daily compound reward formula. It's quite simple to just have an estimate of that compounded rate as well. So it might be worth having a little toggle in the dashboard where we can switch between compounded and base rate. I think that would be a nice addition.
Agree. Yeah, it would be nice. Then you have like the total supply staked. These are basically the percentage of DOT tokens that are in staking divided by the tokens that are the total supply that is around, and it has been increasing a lot. I mean, even if it increases by 0.1, 0.2, it means that a lot of tokens are put into staking. So we have seen like some big increase since last year. Yeah, October last year, when actually the ideal staking rate was set to 50%, and now is 59%, and this was done to accommodate the big crowd loan unlock, the first crowd loans that had a lot of dots, you know, like put for those early projects, to accommodate this into staking without compromising necessarily like staking rewards. I will not go too much in detail, or maybe I can just explain. You go under Learn, and then I believe general tokens and asset token inflation. So here in the wiki, I can send here the link. It explains how basically the inflation and the token inflation works. I'm not going too much in detail, just comment on this figure. You have 10% constant inflation, which is this horizontal bar, and then you can see here, this is the percentage of inflation that is dedicated to nominated proof of stake. And you can see that this is the ideal staking rate. 0.6 is the ideal staking rate. At the ideal staking rate, all the inflation is going to nominated proof of stake. All the inflation of the token is going to rewards validators, and then the validators are paying out nominators. And as soon as you depart away from this 0.6, a tiny portion at the start, but the more you depart, the bigger the portion of the inflation is going to the treasury. So this is what's happening with the inflation, and the staking rewards are basically like this. So the system incentivizes actually staking whenever you have less than the ideal staking rate. So if the ideal staking rate is less than 0.6, is incentivizes staking. So the more the percentage decreases. Now it's 52%, for example. We are around here. And we have around like we have seen like 17% of rewards, and the more we decrease this percentage, the more you get rewards. It's incentivizing to stake, because there are not a lot of token in staking, of course. Then, but the more you go up, you shoot up the ideal staking rate. This dramatically increases the rewards. So it's always good, you know, a good incentive to stay below the 0.6. That's why the ideal staking rate has been pushed from 0.5 to 0.6, because if you would have left here at 0.5, now we will have this situation here where it wouldn't be like that appealing to stake your tokens. It would aggressively cut your rewards. But please feel free like to read this page. It goes very much in detail about what I just said. And here the time is basically the clock. In Polkadot, it shows the eras. I mean, it shows the eras also for Kusama, but in Polkadot, one era is 24 hours, and we are currently at the end of the current era. So in 4 minutes from now, what will happen is that the validator will be rewarded, and then they can pay out the nominators. Yeah, thanks a lot, Ross. Yeah, the wiki is still in development. I mean, it's still under reorganization, but we try to make it a little bit more accessible for the reader. Please feel free like to explore. Also, like to send me feedback. And yeah, before we end this call, I just want to know, please follow Ross Bulat. I can put it here, Ross Bulat. On Twitter, I am Filippo F3. You can reach out to him or to me. I use the same name on cross-platform, on Discord, on Reddit. Feel free to ask questions or to point out stuff in the wiki that is missing. You can submit an issue. The wiki is open source, and you're welcome to submit issues and pull requests. Happy to review them. Yeah, please ask more questions about the staking dashboard. If you have question about the metrics or the mechanics or specific features, this is the time.
Maybe Friday evening. Well, Friday evening for me is not the best
Yeah.
time for everyone to
Yeah.
working their brains with staking.
I put a recurrent meeting every Friday. I think maybe I should think a little bit more about the best day to do it.
I think that's all good. I just had a little thought about the supply mechanism as well. And once we hit that ideal state, and as we go over staked, the reward starts to decrease, right? And
yeah,
one of the questions I get a lot is like, when are you going to support liquid staking, like in the dashboard? And I always say it's a fundamentally different value proposition. It's inherently more risky using derivatives to, when those tokens can be used for other DeFi products, and then there's that risk of slashing, which could have a snowball effect and potentially get you liquidated and whatnot. But I think as the staking system of the relay chain becomes over compensated and those rewards start to decrease, this starts to present a natural incentive for stakers to look elsewhere. And the first place they will look is the liquid staking alternatives that will mostly advertise more attractive staking rates. So I think this problem will naturally sort itself out as time goes by and the staking system becomes overstaked. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like I think also like probably, I don't know, I don't want to say something wrong, but also the fact that I can see here the copyright with Tree Foundation, it might have some implication about like using liquid staking on the dashboard, right? I mean, it's like
absolutely,
as you said, it's also a totally different risk approach with liquid staking rather than staking natively on the validators.
absolutely. Yeah, that's a super important point. Like, we cannot advertise exchange rates. We cannot promote DOT as anything else but a software token. So anything that suggests it's something otherwise, it would not be allowed on the Polkadot network website. So this is a severe limitation that we are kind of banking on the community, the ecosystem, the liquid staking solutions to remedy in their solutions as well. Yeah.
And here I get a question. I'm wondering, is it possible to show the payout detail in formula? Like, I know how much I got per day, but where exactly is it coming from? I mean, it's like simple as that, right? There is 17%. You have that amount of token. You take 17% of that amount, you divide it by 365, and you should get more or less what you will earn per day, right? I mean, I know that there are like these era points that they fluctuate a little bit. Now they're much more stable because all the validators can be para validators in the same. I mean, I don't want to go too much in detail, but if you have like 98,000 era points one day, and you have then 95,000 the other day, if they change a little bit, if the era points go down a little bit, you will get a little bit less rewards. And then, of course, you have like the staking rate, not the staking rate, the percentage that is in staking is increasing every day. So, these are all stuff that you must take into account.
I think, like, the long story short, Polkadot is inflationary. The annual inflation is 10%. Well, at least that's what we aim for, right? The majority of that, I have a stat actually at the bottom of this overview page, which estimates how much of the inflation is going to stakers. So it's estimating around 8.99% based on the last payout, which is once a day on Polkadot. So yeah, the majority of the inflation goes towards staking rewards, and the rest will be going to the treasury. And this graph explains
we are basically in this situation here. We are 0.52, 53. I mean, we are there here. So it means that around 0.9, like how to say, like 9%. Sorry, not 0.9, 9% of of not 9% of the inflation, but 90% of the inflation is going to the stakers. So if we have 10%, 9% is going to stakers. Sorry, it's like percentage of percentage, a little bit weird, but in here we basically have it right. It makes sense that at this stage most of the inflation is going to stakers, and the more it will increase, the more we will get to the real staking rate of 0.6 of 60%, the less the treasury will receive we will receive tokens from or funds from inflation, actually.
Yeah. The takeaway is, don't argue with the Web3 Foundation researchers. They thought about this in great detail, so we'll just go along with it and say that's a great model, and it works great.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, it's like everything about incentives and game theory. Everything must take, also take into account of risk and stuff like that. But we have OpenGov. We have used it last year to increase it, and depending on how it will go, I guess OpenGov will not be the last time that will be used to modify the ideal staking rate. That's for sure. So
exactly.
Yeah, we have the research team at the Web3 Foundation always researching about this stuff and working in advance in order to make sure that not strange things are happening. So the inflation model is entirely permanent, so the algorithm can be tweaked via governance. Yeah, exactly, man. Meaning no figures such as inflation rate is permanent, right? Yes, exactly. So inflation, any parameters can be changed. I guess, if I'm not mistaken, this kind of parameters are under the fellowship repo right now, while the code base of Polkadot is in the hands of the community. Yeah, definitely everything can be changed anytime via OpenGov. It's not fixed. It's not like it will be 10% and it is like this forever, or like the ideal staking rate is 60%, it will be 60% forever. It's not like that. Blockchains are evolving very rapidly. Economics condition change. We are seeing it, like it's a very fast-paced ecosystem. It's a beast that is shaping very rapidly. So parameter must be changed and will be changed accordingly to whatever will happen. Definitely. We are now 40 minutes into this live tutorial and AMA. We welcome more questions if there are. Otherwise, I think we can wrap up this first AMA.
I could expand a little bit on what you just said about the system constantly evolving and changing. I think something that got merged. There's kind of an inactive feature that got merged late last year, which involves kind of this idea of a dynamic amount of nominees you can choose as your validator set based on how much dots you're bonding. So, for example, if I'm bonding 500 dots, I might have access to back 5 validators, but if I'm bonding a lot more, maybe I have access to the full 16 validators. So I think what could be introduced to the runtimes today is this curve to dictate these thresholds. And this is just one way the core staking team are exploring ways to scale the system in terms of like how many accounts it can support, how many nominators it can support. So yeah, very much an evolving system.
This is actually very interesting because sorry.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, plus we have the staking parachain to attend to inevitably in the foreseeable future when we have to move to the staking parachain. So that will inevitably require more changes to the staking system.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's kind of interesting because I remember some guys from some validators reaching out to me telling, hey, I have I don't know, 20 million dot in nomination, but actually I'm not getting active. I think this is the problem of right now, that people are selecting up to 16 validators. Everybody is selecting 16 validators, so you can have a lot of nominations, but you're not getting active. So I think it's kind of frustrating from validators that are doing actually a lot of social engagement and stuff like that. They try to get people to get nominations. But just because I'm selecting 16, you're selecting 16, so the chance that our stake is going to the same, it's kind of hard. So definitely like a good improvement is that based on the stake, you can select how many validators you can back up. It will help probably small validators that are highly active in the ecosystem and improve decentralization as well. Yeah.
That's it. It's decentralization has to be the first class citizen, has to be the North Star. So, and this allows us to maximize as opposed to like a simple delegated proof of stake system. So even though the UX or the UI may not be as intuitive as other systems right now, we like the complete wrong approach would be to make the staking system less decentralized in order to fix this.
I definitely improved a lot. I mean, I remember when joining the foundation, or even before, and I was staking, there was only Polkadot.js. I mean, now you have so many options. You have the staking dashboard, you have the wallets, there are many options in the ecosystem. I definitely don't think that UI is a problem anymore for people that they want to use the tools. I mean,
sure.
It improved a lot. It improved a lot in just 1 year. It's crazy. Thanks to you, Ross, and other like devs and people in the ecosystem pushing hard. Yeah.
Nah, thank you. I think we need to be careful not to tread on each other's toes so much. So, for example, the staking dashboard would never say never, but have like a one-click nomination pool feature like Talisman has, for example. So they do that extremely well. We wouldn't want to take that away from them. So I think the staking dashboard's niche is very much for the more educated Polkadot staker who really wants to optimize their validator set, amongst other things like setting UX standards and things. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I see also like integration with Polkawatch to monitor your like how decentralized you are. Not a lot of users are actually care much about it, but of course, like the security of the system in proof of stake is basically driven by the amount of tokens that are locked into the system. But it's not only that. Of course, like you have the validators. Every validator has to have a maximum amount of stake. The variability between the nodes must be minimal so that the chance of being attacked or like to collude validators or validator groups, it's less as possible. But also keep in mind that validators are renting hardware, cloud services, and you don't want all the validators in one service provider, because if that service provider is shutting down or something happens, the whole network is lost, right? I mean, it's important to choose validators also in this look. I think like nomination pools, creators of the pool, like manager of the pools, they are probably looking at these things. And I mean, also setting up a pool is not for everybody, like you need to know these things. But for example, you can see here information about the network, and you have the different validators. You have a small, bigger validator. You have small validators that not necessarily like do less work than the bigger one. Maybe it's the opposite. A small validators wants to increase the brand. Is very carefully selecting, the hardware. He wants to make it, to be serious and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily that if a validator is small, that is not worth for your nomination. Most of these guys are in the 1KV program, the 1000 validator program. You can go on the wiki and learn more about it. It's improving decentralization. It's currently restructuring. It will be launched soon with a new formula. So definitely something has been done to make the Polkadot network decentralized. And here you see like the service providers. It's kind of interesting. You can see here, you know, how many rewards have been paid out by service provider, which directly tells you, you know, how validator are selecting the service provider. And you can see like you have big one here, OVH, Amazon, Google, Hetzner, Scaleway, and you have big, small one. So if you care about decentralization, you don't want to select all validators that are within one service provider, but you might want to pick up different validators in different service provider to make sure that your selection is decentralized. But this is stuff for nominators and pool members and pool creators. It's not stuff for pool members. Pool members just join the pool. But it's important to know these things and how like proof of stake works. And actually is integrated within the dashboard. So if you are nominating, you can, there is a little button, Polkawatch, you can click and you can see your account, how decentralized is your rewards in the past 30 days.
And this project is actually now funded via OpenGov, the Polkawatch project. They successfully got funding. Yeah. And so if anyone has any great ideas of, you know, historical APIs, nomination pools are lacking historical data right now. For example, like the long-term rewards of pools and stuff. If you have like good ideas to provide this kind of data, then just post it on OpenGov and get a discussion going. And you know, we would happily integrate this in the staking dashboard as well.
I believe in Subscan is tracking some information, right? You have some historical information.
Yeah, Subscan is. Yeah, so we leverage some of that in the dashboard. So recent rewards and member count, because, okay, bit of a technical detail, but the only way to determine member count is of a particular pool, if you communicate with the node, is to fetch every single pool member. And then I believe you need to fetch every single pool. There's only 200 of them, I believe, on Polkadot. And then you can determine how many members there are per pool. So this is a very expensive operation. So Subscan, you know, provide a good solution alternative for this. But in terms of like detailed analytics for nomination pools performance, maybe like the validators they choose over time, how active they are over time, how quickly they, if you have permissionless claiming turned on, like how quickly they claim rewards on behalf of their users, like statistics like this that may incentivize people to join, and you know, as a competitive thing, like yeah, that'd be really great to have on the staking dashboard.
Absolutely agree on that. Yeah, definitely. Because now I think joining a pool, or either you know the pool creator will just see, I don't know, maybe the amount of staked tokens, and you are like confident, okay, I go with them, or just a UI thing where, you know, like he's pre-selecting for you stuff. But definitely like knowing these things might help. Yeah,
I guess it just gives confidence to the, you know, to the prospective pool members to say yes, this is the right pool for me.
Yeah, or maybe like building a confidence score, or like activity score for the pool creator. How active is it? It's like, yeah, maybe it will help. Definitely, exactly. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. I think these things will come in time, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's time to wrap up. If there are no other questions, I thank you all for joining this live tutorial and AMA, the first one. Yeah, I mean, let's see the next one how it goes. And the day for now is Friday. Next week, same time. It will be about OpenGov, and I will use Polkadot.js and Nova Wallet. And we will talk about everything about Polkadot OpenGov logs, how the log works, delegation, voting. There will be Mikalis from Web3 Foundation explaining about Polkadot.js, and it will be a very interesting tutorial as well, and helping you guys to delegate and participate in governance with confidence. And of course, thanks, Ross, for joining us. You are now, I know, in at the PBA in Hong Kong. What time is it there? It's quite late, right?
No, it's my pleasure. So it's always great to talk about staking things. It's almost midnight, but that's fine by me.
I really appreciate that you made this effort to join.
No worries. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. And I wish you all a nice weekend. And see you next week. Thank you, guys.
And you. Great job, Filippo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Ciao, ciao.
See ya.